Welcome to Poetry Africa 2019. It is our 23rd time around. Let's give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight. Okay, so Lome Pamgwenu Fali Rose, also known as Ayanda Rose Fali. Intombi yakwakhwalo umlanjana umcethe yamazangwa ezalwa umakhowa undonga ushamase dabuka ePortchepston kwelaka banana. I'm very pleased to see you all of here tonight. Let's welcome our first performance, our first musical performance from Sawatya Mungo, and we will let her music speak for herself. Sawatya Mungo, welcome to the stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sawatya Mungo. I'm from Mandeni, the north of KZN. I'm signed by Khoza Clan Productions. I am here to present the works of Princess Makoko, a daughter of King Dinuzulu Kacetshwayo, who was a poet, a praise singer, also an instrument maker. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Ngimthanda nje muhle bozulu
ngimthanda nemuhle. I feel this is a bit, yeah. Okwami sengintami namalunga njengomkholwane. Ngiqalaza inqole eqonde enkantolo. Mzila kamashe ngiyakwalishona lingashoni. Wayengwenta beshaya intaba eshipheli. Lenzile lisheshe lidlule lithanda ukwenzani. Oh yeah, umuzi weqhawe intshesha kubola. Awuyeni babulawa kithi abalapha ezidlendleni. Oh yeah, umuzi weqhawe intshesha kubhubha. Awuyeni babulawa kithi abanenkosi. Aliphume lingene akube yicala kanye. Akube yicala kanye. Uthi uyawugana bakhe ngihlezi. Uyawugana bakhe kuqala. Sengiqalaza inqole eqonde enkantolo. Thank you so much.
Another warm round of applause for Sawatya Mungo. Yes, she has quite set the tone in celebration of our indigenous language and musical storytelling in our own languages for tonight. So next we have our prelude poet, uBandiswa Vilane, Intombi yaseSwatini. Bandisa Vilane is a poet, a published author, public speaker, visual artist, violinist, youth empowerment entrepreneur, and debater. Accolades, girl. Vilane started writing at the age of 11 and at the age of 16 became the youngest published author Eswatini. Celebration to that. She's worked with many youth organizations, Eswatini, and hopes to continue using the arts to create a better Africa. Let's welcome onto the stage Bandiswa Vilane.
Tonke timvo tihamba tiphele. Ingani nalokungapheli kuyahlola. Bomjingi namkhothane bahlangene emathe njengelulwimi kusasa mehlo kaSatani. Sanibonani. My conscience has a name. Her name is Becky. She recently asked me how many times you must break before we die. Believe me, I already have my heart, soul, and Becky tucked somewhere in a suitcase and ready to go. Or is this what the last break before the actual death feels like? I know I sound like a bunch of muffled voices right beneath the ocean, but I'll let you know that each break feels like death. So I'm just hoping, praying that by some miracle lightning strike me dead. Dear God, our Father who art in heaven, here I am, broken, but will you still accept me? Do you still recognize me, or should I reintroduce myself? I'm the girl that fell 9 times, prayed 10. I'm the one that's been writing you letters asking for you to fetch me. I've been wanting to come back home for a while now, but each time something pulled me back to life, and I'm hoping that you don't take me back. My parents called me Bandiswa. I thought it meant many more to come. I thought it referred to blessings, but I guess I was wrong all along. But moving on. Some people call me African honey. I guess it makes sense. Every inch of me is sweet. I was made by parts of you anyways. All curves, all the way they go, all the way. I wouldn't have it any other way. See, it took me 16 years to fall in love with myself because society told me that I needed a flat stomach to be perfect, when being made in your image made me perfect. Imagine. See, I had a lot of questions. I began to question if I was living my purpose, so I just wanted to be relevant like everybody else. So I began to write, so I bleed ink with words through my soul. I chose to be a mother to literature, a lit nature. So I give birth to words through books and poetry. See, I'm a creative. I figured that's my gift when all else failed me, which it never did. But when it choked me chest tight, I'd pick on my brushes like roses and begin to paint. I hope they remember me. I hope they remember how I preached Africa would rise. I pray they remember my words. Father was fighting for land that didn't belong to us to begin a part of the plan. By the way, Father, was race even a part of the plan, or the plan was to never recognize our differences? Because forgive us, O Lord, our sins, for we are individuals before we are humans. I guess dying a countless times before standing through the story is a part of the yard, so I'll save the rest of my questions for the next time I find myself here. But before I go, Father, I'd like to ask for this one thing, this one last thing, this small thing. All I'm asking for is a remedy for all these funny feelings in my chest. They kind of hurt. I'm sure we're wondering what my introduction meant. It means, I'll loosely translate it in English. It means everything has an end. Eventually, all things come to an ending in time. We could be lovers today and strangers tomorrow. I'm going to be performing 2 short pieces. My next one is a letter of redemption. I never got the chance to hear your cries. I never got the chance to hold you in my arms or to tell you that I love you. So I write you this letter of redemption with hopes that you'll one day read it, with hopes that you will one day understand that you belonged to somebody's husband, that your life would be a constant reminder of my sins, a mistake I had to rid myself of. So I took it upon myself to do what I thought was right. You see, eyes closed, legs open, clattering filled my ears like lifeless cutlery. My conscience screamed no, my body felt unconscious, my mind numb as the scarlet fluid pulled between my thighs. I could almost imagine you scream, "Mommy, please." And yet it was done, and yet it was over. At your perfect 9 weeks, I had successfully rid myself of the opportunity to be your mother, to buy you diapers, to see you past every grade. And so every night I prayed that insomnia would save me from your hunting brown eyes. They were a lot like mine. Or your toothless smile, a lot like his. You see, insomnia has the ability to make the moon feel like perfect company. Insomnia has the ability to sweep me off my feet and keep me in the presence of my demons. And so every night under the perfect moon night, I'd convince myself that I was saving you from poverty, that I was saving you from the streets. So I write you this letter of redemption with hopes that you will one day read it, with hopes that you will one day understand that I lacked everything you'd ever need, that I lacked the affection needed as a result of the rejection I had to foresee in my childhood, that I feared the rejection of your father, that I was selfish, that my decision didn't come easy as I cleared you off my womb and where once laid a capital B for broken, now laid a capital A for abortion. You see, I needed you, but not as much as I needed him for my own life, so blinded by the green lights that flickered as I approached our moment of fate, or so I thought. My mind kept repeating that I was about to make the biggest mistake of my life. But like a loose tie, I kept on moving, pushing past reality as I cleared you off my womb, and then you became my worst nightmare. My dirty little secret that every night of sex couldn't make okay, that every bottle of tequila I drank thereafter couldn't make me forget, that every man I met thereafter couldn't make okay. So I write you this letter of redemption to tell you that I'm sorry. Thank you.
Words that hold stance and reflect on the various issues that women go through. Thank you for that powerful performance, Bandiso Vilane. Now next, ladies and gentlemen, I'd also just like to remind you that please do not record the whole show. You may take snippets and also stills that you can post on our social media pages. Facebook, we are Poetry Africa, and at Poetry Africa on Instagram and Twitter. All right, so our next segment is the school's poetry competition. I'm very excited to bring our learners onto the stage, young women that are making a difference through the expression of words. Amanda. This popular component of the festival program presents learners with an opportunity to showcase their poetry and writing skills. Entrants are invited to submit original poems, and winners receive cash and book vouchers. These are generously sponsored by Adams Campus Books. So the first segment will be the Poetry Africa English category, and the adjudicators for this is Andrea Forges, Gina Zuma, and Mbuso Gunene. So I'd like to present. Our third place goes to My Color is Colorless by Xolile Lutuli at Durban High School. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, tonight we have Afrika Mugati presenting our awards to our learners. Well done, well done. Go over.
I'm human, but I am immune to happiness. Every time I see the sun, the moon covers it, and it reminds me that my color is colorless. I keep fighting a losing battle, hoping that one day I'll have a little happiness. But my color is a barrier that was built by the hands of the fortunate, and it still lives on. My color is colorless. I live in a world where I'm not allowed to live. I'm not allowed to fly. I'm not allowed to have hope. But all I ever do is lie and say I'm happy. How ironic. My color is colorless. Thank you.
Our next winner, ladies and gentlemen, in second place goes To Fail by Ozioma Onyeka from Monterina Secondary School. Welcome to the stage, Ozioma.
I stood by the rail, trying to take out all my pain. Everybody thought I was insane, but I knew I was the one to gain. And it kept making me feel insane. Guess they didn't know all the pain that made me not think straight. It felt like I was hit with the crane. That's why my head started to pain. But I was just not alert. I stood up and took a train that took me to Japan in the rain. From there, I decided to go on a sail, thinking that would help get rid of my pain. But I guess that was just not the way. The next day, I was back at the rail. This time, I just sat in the rain, praying I'd get rid of this pain. I lost everything, not just my family, and it made me feel like a failure.
That took us on a lovely literal journal. Well done. And in first place for our English category goes to Amanda Kwamanda for Africa and the Sun. Congratulations, Amanda. Walking like a winner.
Her feet walked above the soils. The sensation was never soft. She wore her isikolo, covering her coils, that was hair that dwindled aloft. Married to her lover, sweet son, who would kiss her skin endlessly until he parted for his night shift.
Congratulations, Amanda. Yes, basking it. Lovely young lady. Our future is bright with our youngsters expressing themselves through poetry and words. So our next category is the Zulu category, and this is adjudicated by Unomfundo Xolo, Nonkululeko Magwaza, and Thandeka Ngcobo. In third place for isiZulu category goes to Baba Ubofika by Amahle Mjoli at Harding Secondary. Well done. Yes, boss, take it away.
Nanzi imbongi ebhonga amaqiniso ngicela niyidedele namhlanje isibhonga iqiniso. Baba ubofika qubulashi ubofika. Abuzothi mase zifika lezi ivunguvungu zingihlasele wena usungivikele kulomhlaba uzungikhusele ngoba lezi ivunguvungu zizofika ngalindele ngakho ngithi baba ubofika. Baba ubofika qubulashi ubofika. Azothi mase zifika lezi ivunguvungu zingihlasela kepha wena uzungivikele. Ngihlezi kulomhlaba ngesaba ameva engihlaba wena baba uzungivikele baba ngicela. Baba ubofika qubulashi ubofika lo mhlaba esiphila kuwo sekonakele cela uzofike wena baba ubathethelele ngoba bayazi into abayenzayo ingakho ngithi baba ubofika qubulashi ubofika noma sesifika izivunguvungu zingihlasela kepha wena usungikhusela kulo mhlaba uzungivikela ngicela nenkosi zingisikelele ngoba kulo mhlaba ngeke mina ngaziphilela ngawo baba ubofika qubulashi ubofika ngiyabonga.
Well done. A very intimate and personal and also communal prayer, calling out to the Father to help us in our storms. Well done. In second place for isiZulu category goes to Qhakaza Qhawekazi Lami by Nosipho Cele, Crosmo Secondary School.
Qhakaza qhawekazi lami, qhakaza qhawekazi laqhutshwa kwaqhuba amaqhawe akuqala. Impi uyilwile, umsebenzi uwenzile, ushintsho ulenzile, ungowesifazane onamandla, qhakaza qhawekazi. Amasango emfundo uwavulile, amaketanga encindezelo waqaqile, amafindi enkululeko waqaqile. Sesingosofa silahlane nenkululeko, ungowesifazane onamandla. Ezincwadini sizwa ngamaqhawe, ayengaba yini ngaphandle kwamaqhawekazi. Imizamo uyizamile, iqhaza ulibambile, qhakaza qhawekazi. Awusekho qhawekazi, sesilala ngesililo sabesifazane. Nawa amalungelo ethu eseshabalala, nasi isizwe sibhidlika, naba abesilisa bezenzela kwabesimane. Kungani engahlonishwa amalungelo, engani kwachitheka igazi uwalwela. Usuphumulile qhawekazi, sesalehlisa ibhokisi, isililo sakhihlwa yizwe lonke. Indlela ibuzwa kubaphambili, sesizoyibuzaphi qhawekazi awusekho. Qhubeka uqhakaze nezingilosi qhawekazi, ushintsho sizolwenza, abesifazane sizobavikela, izingane sizozivikela. Uma nje kubuya ubuntu emntwini, sizoqhakaza kuhle kwezinkanyezi. Qhakaza qhawekazi lami, qhakaza mama wesizwe, qhakaza mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Uyibekile induku ebandla. Ngiyabonga.
Ngesixhosa bathi uqhakazile uqaqambile qhawekazi. Well done. That was very beautiful. Another round of applause. I love the alliteration there. It really just bursts out like the shining of the stars. And now, in first place for isiZulu category, goes to Azibuye Emasisweni by Ulungelo Nxumalo Edlogo High School. Congratulations, Lungelo.
Sanibona. Mazibuye emasisweni. Mazibuye emasisweni. Phangisa Zulu sekonakele. Isizwe sakho sesimoshiwe sesisele. Sisele kulomhlaba wokhokho. Wemuka Zulu washiya umunye esizweni. Ngokunhlanhlatha sakuthungatha saphelelezeni. Ekubeni kwalamaseka ashabalele emehlweni. Zulu omnyama nansi imbuzo ifike emqondweni. Siphelele lesi sikole sasekwaluseni. Ziphi intombi zakithi bezikha amanzi emfuleni. Liqedwe yini lesiko lokuhlolwa kwezintombi emhlangeni. Bese bayixabanisa indlu yakithi agcwala imzondo. Baziqeda ke nezinsizwa zakithi ngenxa yenzondo. Impela sihlatshwe yiva lendlu kaZulu ngakho Zulu. Mazibuye emasisweni. Amantshontsha akithi aphelele eziko. Isizwe salahla wasa amasiko. Salahla wasa amasiko saqoma wezizwe ekubeni besingayaka kanjani uqoma wezizwe ngoba wena Zulu wafunga wagomela wathi lelizwe thina soze salibusa. Lo buso zinkonjane zona izindizela phezulu ezwe sabayo nomhlaba. Impela nasemandulo babeshilo iva likhishwa ngelinye iva ngakho Zulu. Mazibuye emasisweni. Siphi isidwaba nebheshu bakithi, ziphi intombi ebezishikila emfuleni. Awu kodwa sebengakuthola phezulu ngoba sekwagcwala ibhungane, sekwakhala ibhungane kwezabi izibaya. Abamhlophe baba yizingqwele esikoleni sasekwaluseni. Ngakho Zulu azibuye emasisweni. Abamhlophe baba yizingqwele esikoleni sasekwaluseni. Zulu azibuye emasisweni.
Hayi washaya mfana. Hayi washaya ndoda. Siyabonga Lungelo. Mazibuye emasisweni. Let's go back to our roots. Let's celebrate who we are. And we thank platforms like this, such as Poetry Africa, for giving these young people an opportunity to express their work and give them a voice. Thank you so much. Well done. Keep the dream alive, young people. Keep on writing, keep on reciting. The world is yours for the taking. And asibuye emasisweni niqhakaze ngempela. Well done. Thank you. Thank you as well to Muafrika wa Mukati, our wonderful poet, for later on tonight for presenting these awards. Now, our first poet for this evening's lineup, Busisiwe Mahlangu. Yes. Mamelodi. Batrapiwe a couple of weeks ago. I'm very excited to introduce Busisiwe after last night's performance. The stage has been set. It is quite warm. We had some electrifying performances from last night. And Busisiwe is a writer. She's a performer. She is the founder of Ulwazi Lubanzi Project, a non-profit organization that focuses on literature and creating learning spaces in townships and public schools. Mahlangu is the winner of Tshwane Speak Out Loud Youth Poetry Competition for 2016 and 17 and the National Library of South Africa. Her work is also longlisted for the Sol Plaatje European Poetry Award. She has shared poetry across South Africa, including performances at the Naked Word Festival, Open Book Festival, and South African Book Fair. Mahlangu was part of the cast of When Poetry Hits the Fan that was directed by Bobby Gordon, which ran at the University of Witwatersrand. Busisiwe Mahlangu, take the stage. Welcome.
Good evening. I have a couple of requests. Can I have a chair, for my books? And can I please have a bottle of water? Ngiyabonga. This is how you return to yourself. This is the sound. This is the blast. Take this silence that no one hears. This is how you return to yourself. This is your reflection on the glass. These are parts that broke but are still here. This is the collapse and the rebuilding. This is a tasteless resurrection. This is how you return to yourself. This is how you make home with your body. How you fit into happiness. This is your gap for your escape. This is how you hold your lungs to the air. This is you being carried by wind, how you breathe through every wound. This is how you survive. The pages are missing inside my grandmother. Torn and wet, memory washed away. There are stories that she keeps on her fingertips, tucking them in under her nails each night. Her name falls off her tongue when she speaks. Another page snatched out of her book. Her back is the spine curling into a rainbow. The only reminder she has that the freedom promised came, although it forgot all the black people. My grandmother forgot. She's a book without language. She is history cleaned off the floors. She holds an empty page. Her life is a blank on a sheet, is a pause, is the quiet between the wind. Her husband reminds her of their wedding day, playing the moment back with a song. She remembers the bells and the ginger beer, but not his name, not his face. She only knows his voice. It belongs to a man who once touched her bones and moved to their breaking. So we fill the space with the past. We condense 70 years inside a four-roomed house. We are holding grandmother's face close to her eyes. We watch her turn from paper to tree, and all that she lost is just leaves. And this is autumn. Have you ever seen an empty library breathe? Moving the air around it to survive? Have you ever seen a book that can't be read, a line you cannot color into? Have you ever seen dementia in a body? Ever lived a life you cannot point at? Between the shelves in the library, I hold the books that know the place my grandmother sunk into. Every line I read is the language she lost. And the language lost is replaced with terms and symptoms that bend better in English. Alzheimer's is writing a new book with her body without her voice. She is holding the air like that. Like one day her body will disappear like her mind did. She is moving her hands like this, fishing out the confusion in the air. She's enveloping her words in steel, engraving herself somewhere. Grandmother, watching pages of her diary float off her body. Grandma, there is still a book that has your name clear on the cover. I am the book that will never forget you. I will never forget you. My mother is a woman who gossips about herself. She laughs and her bones fall back into place. She pulls a girl stuck in a man's broken rib, teaches the girl how to swim in her blood after they killed her. She knows that she is the girl. She places her gums on the table before they pull out her teeth. The woman I grew out of laugh to feel that they are still here. They open their mouths and vomit tales they were forced to believe. Okay, see this pink book that I'm reading from? I wrote it. My body spells happy different. 1. How many mouths can you trust with your name? How many hands can you trust with your body? 2. I remember you shrunk, crumbling when words became stones. They hit your knocked knees and stopped the kissing. You learned to walk while falling apart. 3. You make a wish on your face. You pop a zit. You scar yourself to measure the time healing takes. After years of scratching pimples, you know that calling your skin ugly will not make it go away. 4. The advert on the television said, "Give us your scars, we will hide them." You tucked your cellulite into your jeans, wrapped a scarf around your chest. You went to the shop and bought bio oil under disguise. 5. There is always someone suggesting a way to fix yourself. There is a way to make tummy rolls roll off you. There is a way to bend the bulge under your arm. There is a bra that can hold your breasts to your chin. There is a way to exit yourself. 6. You can start running from all the mouths that want to swallow your body like a fault. You can start running from yourself when you're holding a spade to collapse the fault. Remember that you own one body. This is not a suggestion. 7. How many parts of you do you let your mouth speak? How many parts of you do you let your hands hold? My body holds a song. Stand still while the waves rise and fall in places locked away. The music is a call for freedom, an anthem inside throats with half prayers. In my body, there are cities that have stopped waiting for a hymn and started burning their temples, made holy a body of ashes, made fire a circle of fate. Now bricks float in the air like dust. I play the song with my fingers, the labia, a plain instrument, the clitoris, a string. I know how to move dead cities. There is magic in my body that loneliness cannot empty out. Do not touch me like you're digging a girl out of a grave. I've saved myself through orgasms, over the gospel and the preaching. Pleasure is holy. Do not waste it on your ego. I deserve a God who will not call this worship a sin, who will not call my hands inside my jars stealing. I am not waiting for a husband. I am waiting for a chord that will strike my spine to dance. This is how I pray and sing or worship. I am naked when I read the Bible. This is how I return to my body. There are abundant places in me that only I can rescue. God, I will call your name when I come. Can I go on? Oh my God. Ngiyabonga. Okay. If we don't stop, they'll chase me off stage. I'm going to do a couple of tiny poems. Tiny poem. So you must listen, guys. They are so short. You'll miss it. This is the title poem, and it's so short. Look at yourself. You have not died yet. You're an unending revolution. You are surviving loss. My mother's mother has done the suffering for my mother. My mother has done the suffering for me. This is how I inherit a scar. This one is very, very tiny. Fixing a boy makes me forget that I am broken. What is a sin? I want to tell Mama what they've done to me at church, but I fear hell, so I do not speak. I make fire with my father's bones. I cannot keep myself warm without killing him first. Okay, back to the long poems. The candle bends, brushes away darkness. Everything is connected to light. A family sits around the table. and their presence seals the holes of a shack with a moonbeam. Light settles on their plates, and they enjoy a meal. But I know a girl who will never understand what that means. She is what the flames left behind. Fire comes to dine her cold tongue and her heart. Everything is swallowed by darkness. Her father's absence is smoke, and her mother is rubbing ash on her chest, fixing a broken heart. Her father was water, but the wind drank him up. His absence is ice. She points to her body for men to feel the cold. She wants their heat to stay inside her. But all the men she has touched are corpses. They always leave behind a trail of snow on her pillow. The search for warmth doesn't stop when your father is made out of water. His life becomes a pulse in your lungs. We are daughters who never stop guessing. We always have our eyes up in the skyline, throwing possible faces of fathers we've never met. We are grounded chimneys and flying smoke. We are what the flames failed to be. Fire comes to dine our cold tongues. The smoke comes out frozen, saying, I have a father who was water, but the wind drank him up. My father is in the air, but I cannot get through him. His absence is steam. In a culture where men do not stay with their families to honor it, men wander off and evaporate, and we become children who are chasing a flood, writing love letters to the ocean, for we don't know where our fathers live. Only that when they left, the candle stopped burning. Sometimes I want to ask Mom what Dad looked like. But I can imagine her carving him out of stillness, his eyes outlined by the dark. He has no face. His whole body is water. And next time I see him, he'll be on my mother's face, walking out on her again. But I never cry alone. Tears remind me of men who are gone, whose absence is ice and have names built out of steam. Whenever it rains, my father returns, still without a face but a body of liquid. He waters our garden and soaks into the ground. He's never coming back. I don't know if he's out there. I don't know if he's alive, but I am. Thank you. The water is boiling. Won't you make some tea? My baby sister will ask, with lightning striking from her chest, carving anger, her throat filled with trumpets, screaming, because the truth will always be a lie. If not a lie, then it will always be a knife cutting through her heart. Outside, the water has been eating flames for more than an hour now. Our fire is a phantom star about to close its eyes, but we have to keep the fire burning. The wise man might miss the stars, but the flames will let them know that we've been waiting on God for years. And we've been waiting on God. My sister is 7, and I am 11. Our house has been standing on our young shoulders for years. The August wind bumped on the side of our home. Our shaking shack is now handicapped on frozen wheels, not moving. We cannot afford to move. So we wait and hope that those who can will find us here. I hope you find us here. But when you do, please do not ask us to dance for you. We lost our legs to the cold. Poverty ate away our feet so we don't follow the footsteps of our parents. You want to know why our food is always dirty? We plant our fingers on wet soil to grow extra hands to put food on the table. We cannot offer you a glass of water, but you can take our sad faces for your thirst. We don't chew bones under this roof. There are pieces of our broken self lying everywhere. You might choke on our blood or stumble on our ribcage, but don't tell them that we are dodging death every evening, that the candle watches us with caution. The dead bodies that have bent down with the squatter camp will beg us to wake. Wake up. Why won't you wake up? Wake up. It's because we are scared of drowning. There's a hurricane in the kitchen, cooking up a storm. I did not come to this stage by choice. I was swept by the tide while sleeping, and I've been sleeping for too long. I don't want to wake up because I'll have to watch myself die if I do. Tell my sister that I cannot change water to tea. Tell her that I've got snaps and applause when all I was asking was a loaf of bread. And all I am asking is a loaf of bread, a mother in your pockets, a father under your jacket, salt in your hands. Now what about that loaf of bread? I don't need it anymore. My body has built a home out of hunger. Is standing by the side of the robot saying please. Because maybe these words, maybe these stories are worth nothing when we tell them ourselves. This poem, this next one, is dedicated to every black woman who has ever been told that they are too angry or too bitter. We deserve to be angry. My anger is a log in a fire. Did not start the flame, but burned. Soon, there'll be no one to blame when I turn to ash. The inferno in my chest is a prison. A person who's hurt me before cannot do it again. I have them drink the fuel they poured on my feet. This anger did not start the fire, but that explosion is all of it, all of me. My anger bent my tears. My anger molded my chest a shield. No one fought for me, but my anger did. Fought for the woman in my blood and the children. They never touch the fire, but they feel the warmth. This is protection. This is a volcano erupting to save us. Okay. Uma lishona ilanga sizoqala lethu. Ngamalahle, ngezinkunyi nangomlilo. Uma lishona libomvu ezantsi, lisithele ezintabeni ezizoqala lethu. Elivutha ubusuku bonke. Ubumnyama buzozithoba. Lo mhlaba uzofunda ukuthi nezinkanyezi yakhula otshanini. Phakathi kwamabili, umhlabathi uzokhanya njengesibhakabhaka. Izimpisi nezinyamazana zizoswela ugodi losithelo. Inkantolo ivikela amabhubesi. Biza lamadoda ayizilwane. Isigwebo sabo sibalindile. Biza namadoda angenacala. Isigwebo sabo sibalindile. Ukuthula kwabo kuyicala. Ngendlela bavala amehlo bafihla izindlebe bagoba amakhanda ngayo kuyicala. Biza umongameli, inkosi, umphathi sitolo. Sizophawula ukuthi lesihlalo asinagazi. Lo mphakathi uzobhidlizwa iqiniso elingaziwa. Izintombi zishabalala ebumnyameni. Naku kukhanya namuhla nawumlilo. Uzoyivikela indodana yakho noma ingumbulali. Khuluma phela ungasabeli. Lo mphakathi uzobhidlizwa iqiniso elingaziwa. Amanga ayaqgqilaza umphefumulo. Ungalifihla lamampela. Kodwa uzothi uma uzama ukukhuluma, uvela ukhonkothe. Uhambe njengenja. Isikhumba sakho semvu siwele ethuneni. Ulindeni ungakhulumi. Ulinde ithuna elinegama olaziyo. Ulinde ukufe bani. Konke okulahlekile kuzobuya. Bonke abalahlekile bazobuya. Zolotha lelanga izinhlungu zishe, izinhlungu zibe yitshe. Ubumnyama obunyonyobayo buzonyezela lo mhlabathi uzokhanya njengesibhakabhaka. Sizofika la usifihle khona.
Hayi. Izinyanya zezinkondlo zinathi namuhla. The poetry gods are surely with us. We must not refer to the other and separate ourselves as a society. And powerful poetry like Bandisa's teaches us to gossip about ourselves and explore who we are as a continent. Ladies and gentlemen, please another warm round of applause for Busi. So Poetry Africa reminds us of the power of the pen and using words as a weapon. Our next poet hails from Gansbaai in the Western Cape. In 2016, she published Jing Jang Cherries and Other Stories. Jing Jang Cherries. A collection of short stories, which was shortlisted for the University of Johannesburg, the debut prize for South African literature, and won the National Institute for Humanities and Social Sciences prize. In July 2017, she published a volume of Afrikaans poetry titled Radbrak. Hey, my grade 7 Afrikaans. Which was shortlisted for both the Elizabeth Ibers Prize and Ingrid Jonker Prize and won the UJ Prize for Best Debut. Alongside Radbrak, she has also composed a selection of poetry into music. She refers to herself as still her mother's daughter, and she is the only person or poet that is published from her community. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome onto the stage Jolyn Phillips. Take it away.
Away die massakennis. Hoe gaan het die? Gevaarlijk, gevaarlijk, lekker, lekker. Is lekker om hier te is. En ik was Zulu Natalen. That is Caps. I do not speak Caps. And if people from Cape Town heard me, they would probably stab me. Nou gaan ek vir julle verduidelik hoe ek praat. Waar ek vandaan kom, praat ons so in ons brei. You know, like the northern so two people, ons brei Afrikaans, dat het lekker gaan, jong. Anyways. Ek ga begin met 'n Engelse poem because hy is my favorite colonial poem. Colonial language mos was a favorite. A mouthful of silence. Here I stand with a mouthful of silence, a so-called race classification, a history that tells me that this language doesn't belong to me. I'm speaking in Afrikaans in a time where death is his prophecy. I'm speaking Afrikaans in a time where I'm told I'm still speaking the language of the oppressor. I'm speaking Afrikaans in spite of slavery, the Khoi Khoi Dutch Wars, Battle of Muizenberg, the Xhosa Wars, the Ndwandwe Zulu Wars, the Mfecane, the Battle of Italeni, the Anglo-Zulu War, the First and Second Boer War, Apartheid, TRC, hashtag fees must fall, hashtag I'm staying, hashtag I'm next, hashtag Afrikaans will stay for as long as people are talking it. I speak Afrikaans in a time when my Afrikaans is a variety to the standard, and I'm nobody's standard. My ancestors are full of tongueless family trees whose words have been cut off by its branches. They came in boats from Java, Indonesia, Malaysia, Spain, Portugal. They are indigenous to Tam, Ngu, Kwekwe, Griqua, Genikwa, Atakwa. I hail from the Kamakama River. My Afrikaans hails from the never-ending river. My Afrikaans is a never-ending river. Ek grens like a jagged rock and the ocean bursting against it. My Afrikaans is the protea that opens to the Overberg. My Afrikaans is sunset and reel dance. My Afrikaans is the orange dusty roads where I walked as a child. I sit on the sand dunes made from shells, fishbone, and dead people. The ebb and flow of the sapphire sea blows like a king in front of my feet. My Afrikaans is not apartheid. My Afrikaans is what is melted shackles. Engels. My Afrikaans are potjie kos of survival, serving it to their children as freedom. Afrikaans need more words, and it needs new words. It needs your words. I'm bringing the pot to the party. What will we call this dish we serve the democratic children after we reconcile our tongues? Terug van die afnaweek. Ek het eiertand uit Grootkop se skoot getik, tik, tik, tot ek haarlyn kraak. Ek het skip daar aangekom en nou sit ek vas van in die palmietmossies aan die godse van die baviaan. Daai meisiekind Genadendal sit nog altyd na voortrekkerkappie en elke land rond aan Oud-Morawies gekerk vir Goliglag Mandela geoogwink toe hy na die 1994 verkiesing vir haar kom kuier, sy het hom verlei, sy is ook vry. Ek sien jou Oeverberg uitgetof in 'n groen verweel baadjie. Ek hou die bloukraan voel dop wat teen die elektrik drade skok, 'n noot op 'n staaf. Partykeer as ek van die afnaweek terug Grootkop toe, misgis ek die sebra vir 'n kwagga, misgis ek die bloukraan voel vir 'n galjoenblom langs die kus. Ek is gedoop in die Kamakan rivier as 'n inkvis met rooiblos bloed. Polla se doopsrokkie, waterblom sonder stingel in my rond. Ik loop nog elke dag op roosgrond. Hier in die dag van genade word ik wakker tussen bloekombomen. Wat groene raak, hoe ouder mij denken, hoe zilverder mij wordt, hoe zilverder mij wordt. Ik heb nog altijd gegloeid dat die bomen met die groen wolken net aan die takken hangen in die kleine huizen. My Peter, can I say So I want to make special mention to this. When I was in grade 6, I was playing in school and a little boy played in our teacher's caravan and there was a gas bottle and it exploded. And the story talks about the hustle and bustle of that day. Ek is in graad 6, die duivel is los, die vlamme skel wel, die reewelde daar, uit die karavaan, allemaal hardloop daar water aan. Ek is alleen wat die licht dophou, die bondels rook maak onweerswolke, die reën is nog nie reg verval nie, die dag skiet op in die val warmte, die antiespoege bekies, die oom sit hulle pype weg, druk hulle hoedens op hulle borst, die vuur ryk met vlammende arms by die venster uit, brand alles wat dit kan gryp, my Afrikaanse meneer se merkwerk, dans vonkvliegies in die lug. Die vlamme koes nie vir die water nie, ergens hoor ek die sirenes, die vlamme bewe nie eens nie, soek die Ramsema, soek die kinders, sê het na pauze weggehardloop, soek die Ramsema, soek die vlamme, soek saam, soek die Ramsema, soek die vlamme, soek met die kinders, die karavaan is na by oorkoop, soek die Ramsema, soek, haar stem seegevier, by die kruiver as hy net, soos 'n sigaretstompie. My oom vertel vir almal oor sy heldendaad, hoe dat hy van Hiram bidden kry aan die pyn, hoe dat hy nooit vergeet dat 'n mens ook kan smelt soos 'n waxpop, soos 'n kraan, soos 'n kers kan traan. Hy sê Hiram se ma soek, Hiram se ma soek. That's where we catch fish, guys, in the afternoons. Lekker, come visit. Tongvis. Ek is sardynstil. Jou hande slim. Jou lippe op my lippe. Jy prooi tussen my bene, jou ou visbene. Ek huig nog vir die gety, die see raak onstuimig as jy visvrou naby Romans Bay se rotse kom. Ek hoor jou oor my mew. Jy vat my, jy vlek my, langdradig sny jy langs my pens. Daar lê my binnegoed stom, by die kaland trek jy my uit en smyt my een kant toe. Vir aandete bereid jy my voor. My kop kook jy in kookwater en eie, 'n tongvis vir 2. Dis vir die meel. Die pan wat my brei wag, sodat die rou stadig uit my uitpak. Stadig uit my uitpak. My ma sê sy 3 oorwinke van haar ma. Sy onthou haar soos bloing op die brein. Sy onthou haar met die naaldige stit in haar neus. Sy onthou sê, miskien was dit nie my ma nie, maar sy het skuldig gehuil, so asof haar trane wil verduidelik. Haar stem was ver weg, meer geklink as gepraat. Haar ooglede was swaar. Sy wou haar onthou, maar toe sy bykom met haar geheerige silhouet. Maar hoekom het ek jou ouma nie? Jou ouma het gehad brood koop en van storie, man. Ek het nog nie verjaar nie, maar my suster was al 2. Toe los toch nie krappie end af die storie. Nou het ma ouma gehad. Ja, ons het loop water al en haar vloere met beesmis gesmeer tot het blink. Ek was my ouma se wegsteek kleinkind met die sonstraal hare. Dus hoekom noem hulle my poppa? Eindige storie. En waar is sy nou? Die Here het haar gewas soos linne. Haar laat droog word op die draad. Afgehaal en in die laai gebere, kry end. Maar waar kom ek vandaan? Jy is gevorm met die stembande wat 'n nuwe liedjie sing. Ons kom van die kruikie roer my nie mense, wat saam by die suikerbessie se bessie bim bam, se bessie bam, se bessie bim bam, se bessie bam, se bessie bim bam bam. Ballade van Wasdag. Ten minste ryk ons skoon ek en jy, rondom jou pa wat walms maak van mooi vallei, jonkeer en hom. Ek en my ma is wasgoed wat sy dophou deur die kombuisvenster, wasgoed wat sy sing, huil. Maar sy altyd, dit is nie sy tyd nie, dit is nie sy tyd nie, sy het nie meer tyd nie. So staan sy bukken oor die wasgoed en spoeldraai met skuim, seperig sonder ophou was sy boeta se ongeluksklere. Ek en ma word wasgoed wat sy dophou deur die kombuisvenster, wasgoed wat sy blind uil. So was sy. Ons eet pap Sondag, gebakte brood, bitterboere troos, weeks daaroor laat jou pa altyd vleis maak van die bottel en vis vir ons. So was jy my. Niks is mooi, my seun is weg, my hoop is skaars, ek hunker altyd na niks. Ek wil verstaan wat ma so blind neer die vink, gee dit 'n naam, ek sal dit dra sodat ma my kan bemin, ek wil ontsla die nagsigtigheid wat ek graag. Gaan toch ma, woordelose begin, my seun se klipportret moet rus in sy sandklippe plek. Ek wil verstaan, gee my toch sy hoë geheime, hy die naam van rede in ma se hart. Ek die sukkelende self, die nie klipportret, gee my die verdoeselde geheim in sy oë. Ten minste ryk ons skoon ek en jy, rondom pa wat walms maak van mooi vallei jonkie aan hom. Ma sê altyd, dit is nie sy tyd nie, dit is nie sy tyd nie, daar was nie tyd nie. So was ons. Brood. How do you guys say bread? Poroto. Everyone is say brood. Brood of brood. Ek sif my ma deur my ruggraat en sy skuif uit en druk aan my sinnewees. Ek sif my ma na my voete en sy blok my bloedsomloop. Ek sit met haar geswelde bitsels, ek week hulle in soutwater en my enkels benhou dit. Maar ek dra so baie van jou in my in. Maar jy sif my soos meel deur my ma. My angs is soos jou knie daar, maandag, woensdag en saterdag, bak daar, sondag is jou God daar. Maar hier staan ek deurgesif. Ek het nooit aandag geskenk aan die gate in jou sifkousie, maar jy het jou meelklonte weggesteek en soveel met jou baksel gemaak, ek. Maar soos 'n aartsbiskop seën jy my in, maar jy knie my, vou my, knie my, vou my, knie my in, knie my uit, jy sterk my in. Maar die lewe kan nie met jou brood bakkie. Vir my maak jy moeite. Staan jy nog vroeg op? Hoeveel skottels deur is ek nie al geknie nie? Op jou 80er tafel met die gereite vaddoek, maandag, woensdag en saterdag bak daar, sondag huis ek uit jou bid daar uit, en jy gaat kerk toe met jou klont gebakte geloof. Ek gaan op jou gis vir jou verslaande God. Maar in die kerk was ek en jy altyd verslaande skaamtes. Maar ek is nou ouer en Sondag hier in Johannesburg ryk ek vars brood en margarine en rooibos tee. Ek dink ek moet huis toe gaan, 'n holte in die meel vir jou maak, die klonte uitsif. Maar ek wil so graag vir jou vra, leer my om te bid. Maar dat jou skottels en jou brood laat roes voort en jou hande maak holtes in my tong. The fish system, stage 1. My father takes a piece of fish and hooks it on the line, feeds it to the sea, hoping a tuaki harder or red Roman would bite as he becomes a piece of poisonous bokom shriveling in the sun, feeding the fish themselves, trusting they would bite. He understands that fish that eats the ocean that eats us, and while my father tricks the fish to eat themselves, we eat ourselves when we eat the fish. Stage 2. Father brings the fish home. We do not cook the head of the tuaki or the hadder. There is no brain to chew. It crunches better when fried in white maize. Even the eye chews like bubble gum chewed out of flavor. When we see it on our plates, we know fish can kill even when they are dead. So we remove the bones, we chew cautiously, afraid for the death bone of the fish flesh, white and soft like fur. We have dry bread on standby if the bone makes it to your throat and chokes you inside your neck. Even when gargling, we instinctively reach for the bread so it can blanket the bone, push it down to die in your stomach. Step 3, we need money, we need food. We are running out of electricity, but we have fire. The winter is not cold enough to freeze the fish. Therefore, the fish can only be dried, can only be frozen in our bodies. Cannot be wasted even if the memory of fish and bread reminds you that yesterday you died. Even if you cannot buy life with a fish, even if the rotten fish is the reproach that my father had failed us. Even if the memory of fish and bread reminds me that I died yesterday. I will put the leftover fish on my bread and eat it in stages. This is my final poem. I walked this road so many times. It was hard, it was dark, but somewhere in the distance there was light, a strength that pulls me forward. The story of my word began with my pa and his family on our way to Pereberg. Words taste like sirang, not fish. The pinewood tree day remembers Pereberg when my tongue pinewoods only on Pereberg. I taste like pine nuts. As a child, my faith walked around outside between the pitobos. Words do not want to praise psalm songs in the Anglican church. I whisper to the pincushions when I look to the words in the veins of the Adam's faith. We visit Pereberg for funerals. We visit the papsak sick graves without crucifixions. Ghosts do not have tongues, but I understand them in exaltation. My thoughts climb on a bakkie. I sit scapond with my aunties, uncles. The wind is a hand made of sand, clapping me incessantly. My cousins huddle together. They bow forward. Their hands shells their ears, but not me. I will play the wind by ear by the Kelly block. I cannot get enough of the wind's gossip. I still wanted to know whether the sea and the wind were siblings. My father's people remains. Laugh me to a lull. Uit my lichaam wil 'n ander alfabet simfonie. Ek is meer as net 'n veldtaal. My lichaam onttaal die kronieke tong. My tale is baie letters. Out of my body symphony is another alphabet. I am more than skin language. My body untongues the old chronic. I am a polyglot. I am many letters that mouths out of my mouth. My mouth tastes like churn locked up in the ash Wednesday of my birth. I know my words have other roots. So many words have been fed to me. I promise. I whisper the words in the earth, but I cannot ransom an everlasting. My words want to pack the herbs on my body. My word wants to brew my body in a dish. I want to lean over it. I want to scarf over the herbs to inhale, to exhale the pincushion words, finger on the lip. I have to stop my body from worship next to the pincushion compactor stems. I want to know what creation whispers to the fynbos. The biology of my word is not a fractured bone. This is no funeral. This poem is calling old tongues from their graves where they reckon, where they haunt, in the Stuyvesant sitting room where they leave death at the Facebook windowsill. Every Saturday the sea reminds me of my eczema, my jolly cheeks allergy. This owns my patatrapper origins. I speak all my tongues together. Ma says it's dangerous when speaking in tongues, because no one can translate a prey tongue. Cunningly, the eyes in me are busy carrying bricks for a new tongue.
Wow. There's nothing stadig there in the flow of Masekins, Afrikaans, the words, how the poetry affects. Thank you very much, Jolyn. That was wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's mark a ras again for Jolyn Phillips. Now, our final poet for tonight hails from Pietermaritzburg, Emahlanyeni. She is a performing poet, actress, creative writer, and youth activist who is currently based in Pietermaritzburg. She's a young lady who considers herself a realist and has decided to be an agent for change through programs such as Gold Peer Education, Zalanati, and Imagine SA. Mhlanzi finds spiritual harmony and freedom in being unapologetic with her poetry, which is inspired by societal stereotypes, spiritual freedom, patriarchy, feminism, beauty standards, women enlightenment, and life in general. She addresses underlying issues and finds healing for herself and seeks to move and inspire other people as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause for Lulega Mhlanzi.
Thank you, thank you. Sanbonani. Ninjani. Confusion strikes, man, this life is tough. 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 My strength lies in the shadows of my being. The fading confidence in the collage of my spirit borrowed a voice of a bird that couldn't sing. I am burdened by the yearn of gathering architects of the cosmos to assist my confused hands draw a line between breath and dust, to remind me in my lazy days that the world is running out of time. You can only describe yourself using one word because detail shortens storage of the attention span. Let them know you for who they think you are. Forget not to keep your belongings in the envelope between your lungs. Keep your clothes to yourself. And stop defining moments through personality so that memories can remain memories and not as a reflection of the being remembering. The black man has a portion of respect for a body part inherited from a spirit that reincarnates good energy. A pattern of similar time frames hang on the naive walls of history from victories of the past. The story of a black man has become a song, a nice melodious tune with words fading in the air.
It is difficult to live and grow in a changing world and be expected to remain the same. Now, before the machine gun roared, sharp spears were ready to poke the enemy because the eye had already led the heart of the master astray. Instead of securing the sacred treasure we hold, we destroy it. Unaware, they cursed the God they told the black man to pray to. In fact, the slave was supposed to pray for the deliverance of the master. If not, tell me, why is it that the God you pray to does not recognize you? Why do you need to remind them of who you are and what you want, or remind them to do with you that which they had planned to when they created you? You who would rather appreciate a picture of the beauty of nature over nature. I sometimes lay in my comfort zone and wonder, why would God be so afraid? Thank you. Whew. Okay. I am the Red Sea. Died by broken souls they only intended to avenge. On the remaining bones, I am one with dead bodies. They are floating in defeat, deceived by arrogant masters who wear Bible stories. They have a disease for a heart. I come from a world of enormous thirst for power, a deity of agony, which gives instruction on when to pull the trigger, free lessons on how to kill a nigger. As filthy as the heart of an old witch, I am like a rubbish can associated with everyday debris from these cold arms held by the tough ones. My spirit weeps, for I have drawn a conclusion that this is not a place, not yet anyway. There is no truth here, only a staircase where mere stories dwell. The sun dies with all my jealousy when it sets, reminding the moon to come remind me of my failure again, that the hands that are strangling me are the missing parts of my body that required healing. Why did I choose the ground for a companion? I could have gone for the sky. So much love in here, guys. Thank you for this. Thank you to Poetry Africa team, everyone from the top to the bottom. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. The wedding objection. I cannot begin to imagine how glorious it must feel to be in the center of such a glow. What happened to us? You have always known when the sapphire of your eyes have pierced through my clouds. That is how you taught me how to trust you, to help me dance. I learned all of those tricks on how not to fall if it wasn't for you. For some time, I was certain there was something in the air for us. I can still feel the grip of your hand that held all promises of love ribboned in infinity. My breath knows the pace of your heartbeat, beat by beat. You know they were once parallel because of the many times you've raised my hair strands and I had shown you where I had my treasure. Do you remember when my lungs could only take your air because I had problems with trusting my solitude? You know I'm a day's time frame, a puzzled lightning, confused whether I'm here to lighten or frighten my gods. But you know I've been trying to stop the hurricane raving inside my chest, and every time you pressed my spine on the cold wall and fed me promises, I believed you. That is why I stopped breaking up with you, even when I knew that you had skeletons too. You should have not guitared yourself into my chest if you had no intention of making music for my forever. And I should have not looked into your mirror. All it taught me was lies. I object to your wedding today. Not because I want you now. I am more concerned about her. I know your gods too well. I know how to set your crown. Does she know it falls all the time? I've put your storm to rest for a couple of times, and goodness, she has no idea of the ghost she is locking her soul into. Thank you. Okay, a girl is in love. I'll share a love poem. My husband is here, guys, to see the girl. Could it perhaps be that we find ourselves awake, silent, still, gazing into each other's eyes as though as to find that which belongs to us. If it is, I have found a mirror at the center of your iris. Never before have I seen myself so enough and complete. Could that possibly be your gift to my soul? If it is, then I'm not thankful enough. You know, after my mother had explained to me why I could not hear my dad call my name anymore, before I wronged my ears for being particular with sounds and filtering my dad's voice, I had to conclude that love has two different meanings, related though opposite from each other. And this is how I figured why death is so fond of life. But I saw life in your eyes. And this makes you the first person I wake after my nightmares. Your voice is the closest I get to security. Before I even began to believe in myself, I had to first believe that it is in you that I see myself so bright. And every time you call me your star, my heart secretly bows to yours with acknowledgement for sculpturing light into my spirit, which now trembles at the expression of your exposed giggle, proving my humorous arms to be of enough length to tickle your sense of strength. It reminded me how I had memorized your heartbeat enough for an alarm waking me into eternity. You even drew me closer to nature. Every day I see my face stenciled in flower petals from flowers you planted within me. Butterflies explore my inner world at just a thought of your comforting stare. Rainbows know not of our favorite colors, but they cease not their beauty. They carried with so much pride, just like how cliffs carry waterfalls. You have moments of my every thought, and I figured you needed to let you know. Thank you. Thank you guys for so much warmth. Okay. My last piece, guys. This piece, no, I'll share it just a little. I promise I won't bore you. This piece is inspired by how I grew up to be that ugly girl. Basically, ugly. Everyone, my family, everyone. So and so is so beautiful. You could have. I don't know. It was a thing like that, you know. Like I always needed to do more, to try more, and sometimes I didn't have the confidence for it. I lost so many opportunities because I didn't. I basically just loathed the fact that people had to see me. I didn't want to be seen. And it depressed me for a long time until I started dealing with it. It's so easy when someone says, yeah, you have a problem, you need to deal with it. You need to see a psychologist, and a psychologist is expensive, so I can't afford to be well. Anyways, this is sort of like my way of dealing with this burden of being ugly. It doesn't make any sense. What triggered me to start this revolution of beauty standards is when a baby was on social media trending and they were body shaming a baby. I cannot have babies growing in such a dark environment of feeling ugly, feeling not enough, not worthy. Okay, so I wrote this poem as my higher power, where I draw strength, where I draw everything that makes me as true as possible. So I wrote that poem as that voice. Listen, I am here, sitting with all of your doubts, and I don't know what to feed them. They have gotten small since they got here. Perhaps they can't find themselves in my presence. I think it's a good thing. I have heard your conversations with them. They have planted a belief that you are not enough and you grew with it. That you have not collected enough debris to help make yourself perfect. Listen. Seize the sight of a mirror. You will not find me there. My beauty does not exist in a world of tangible mirrors. Those have a lazy tendency of not showing you beauty. Your beauty, my beauty. Perhaps allow my infinite love to reintroduce you to the garden that you are. Rich in the magic that fashions stars. You, the answer to your greatest great-grandmother's prayer. You are gold. A loud secret. A silent treasure. Creatures find their true essence in your colorful aura. Your halo spirals in raw diamonds. You are an impossible taste of ice cream on yearning taste buds. How dare you forget? How dare you forget how your first sunshine trusts you to carry him to the moon? You have seen me. You know me. I am here. I have always been. Remember.
I was Lulega Mhlanzi. I think if there were such poetic wedding objections, there'd be far more less broken hearts. Thank you for that. Another warm round of applause for Lulega. So we've come to the end of our program for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's been really wonderful having you here tonight at the Elizabeth Snedden. I'd like to thank all of you, and please give yourselves a round of applause. You were a great audience.